The movement that I'm going to be talking about today is called Death with Dignity. It is about assisted suicide and why it should be legalized. First off, in this speech, I'm going to talk to you about a true story about a 29-year-old female named Brittany Maynard. She was diagnosed by her physicians with stage 4 terminal brain cancer just a year out of getting married. So not only was she promised death, but a prolonged and extremely painful one at that. Many of you may not know what assisted suicide is or what it entails. Assisted suicide is voluntary termination of one's life by administration of a legal substance by a physician. Some people choose to do this when they are terminally ill because they want to die with dignity. These individuals want to die with dignity because that's all that they have left. They don't want their illness to control them. Imagine not being able to control anything left in your life. This movement allows terminally ill patients with a life expectancy of 6 months or less to die peacefully. Now I'm going to show you a video of Brittany Maynard's story. So one second while I hook this up. One second. Hook it up to my TV, so it's taking a second.
So if November 2nd comes along and I've passed, I hope my family is still proud of me and the choices I made.
In the month leading up to her death, Brittany Maynard became a household name. On Saturday, she went through with the decision that she'd shared with the world, choosing to end her own life. The group Compassion and Choices confirmed Maynard's death in a Facebook post, saying, quote, "She passed peacefully in her bed surrounded by close family and loved ones." The group that advocates for end-of-life decisions teamed up with Maynard to bring the controversial topic to a new, younger audience. The 29-year-old newlywed was diagnosed with a stage 4 malignant brain tumor earlier this year, and in April was given less than 6 months to live. She and her family moved from California to Oregon, where she had the option to legally take her own life with prescribed medication.
I can't even tell you the amount of relief that it provides me to know that I don't have to die the way that it's been described to me that my brain tumor would take me on its own.
The video and the debate went viral. Many civil and religious organizations expressed opposition.
The number one message we would want to get out to anyone who is thinking of assisted suicide is that every single person has worth. And it doesn't matter the stage of life you're in. It doesn't matter if you're suffering or not suffering.
Maynard's initial plans had been to die Saturday, 2 days after her husband's birthday. But last week she made headlines again when she released a new video saying she might delay taking the medication.
I still have enough joy, and I still laugh and smile with my family and friends enough that it doesn't seem like the right time right now.
But according to the statement which confirmed her death, Maynard was having increasingly frequent and longer seizures, severe head and neck pain, and stroke-like symptoms, and went ahead with her plan. After visiting the Grand Canyon, Maynard said she'd completed her bucket list. But there's one dream she still may achieve, though she didn't live to see it.
My goal, of course, is to influence this policy for positive change, and I would like to see all Americans have access to the same healthcare rights.
Despite strong opinions on both sides of this debate, no one can deny she brought the conversation to the forefront.
I hope to pass in peace. The reason to consider life and what's of value is to make sure you're not missing out. Seize the day. What's important to you? What do you care about? What matters? Pursue that. Forget the rest.
Okay, I'm sure that was hard to watch. Many of you may be thinking of a person that you know in your life that you have watched go through a hard time like that with horrible, horrible endeavors in wanting to do something for them. So Brittany decided to do something for herself because she knew that she was going to have a very painful road ahead of her, and she didn't want her family to see her go through that. Brittany decided that she deserved the right to die when and where she wanted. On November 3rd in 2014, Sherrock from CNN interviewed Maynard, and she stated, quote, I would not tell anyone else that he or she should choose death with dignity. But my question is, who has a right to tell me that I don't deserve this choice? I'm going to discuss the many reasons why assisted suicide should be legalized in Missouri, and not only in Missouri, but all over the United States. Let's begin by talking about there is a solution to this problem. Assisted suicide is illegal in Missouri. As Americans, we are all entitled to rights. Women have the right to abort a baby in their bodies, but terminally ill Missourians don't have the right to end their lives. Melissa Leagot reported that Roe v. Wade, which was passed in 1973, stated that, quote, this right to control our capacity to reproduce enhances our ability to participate fully in society. It helps ensure our privacy and our dignity and our health. Assisted suicide is humane. Many of the debates against assisted suicide are in fear that people are going to abuse the right to die. According to the website Death with Dignity, on October 29th, 2014, Oregon's law has been in effect since 1997, and the years of data show that the law is safe and utilized the way it's intended to, with no evidence of a slippery slope for any Oregon residents. The same website stated on the same day, our win with Washington in 2008 and our 2013 victory in Vermont demonstrate that solid legislation stands the test of time and serves as a model for all states. Another reason why assisted suicide should be legal is because we are more humane to our animals than we are to each other. According to David Greenbaum, stated in the article on September 11, 2014, when a pet is suffering from an uncontrollable injury or medical emergency, the decision to end its life may be obvious. When a pet's quality of life is no longer where it used to be, we decide to put the animal out of its misery. Why can't we allow humans to make these decisions for themselves as well? Humans have the right to make this for animals that can't speak for themselves, but humans that are allowed to speak for themselves don't have this ability to end their own life and how it should be handled. Physicians' attitudes toward assisted suicide is kind of 50-50 in the United States. Medscape conducted a survey on how physicians felt towards assisted suicide, and 54% of the United States physicians are supporting legalized assisted suicide. That's a little over half of our physicians that are supporting this movement. 7 states have already made assisted suicide legal. 24 years ago, Oregon was the first state to put into an act called Oregon Death with Dignity Act, and it was passed in 1997. The assisted suicide timeline shows that Washington, Montana, Vermont, California, District of Columbia, and Hawaii have all legalized assisted suicide within those 24 years. As you can see, it is a major controversial topic in the United States, showing that only 7 states have been able to legalize assisted suicide. But many other countries have made assisted suicide legal. According to that same timeline I was just talking about, Switzerland was the first nation to legalize assisted suicide of the terminally ill in 1942. That was a long time ago. Assisted suicide gained support all the way back in 500 BC, which is the 16th century AD, or through 16th century AD, in ancient Greece and Rome. So it has been around for a long time. The proof is inevitable that assisted suicide should be legalized in Missouri. According to Nicole Egan from People magazine, on November 2nd, 2014, Brittany Maynard chose to end her life on Saturday, November 1st, at her home in Portland, Oregon. Let me remind you that She had to pick up her life from California and move all the way to Oregon just so that she could live her life and end her life on her own terms. That was 4 years ago. Knowing that she was allowed to die peacefully in her own bed, surrounded by her family and friends, she ended her story on a happy note, exactly the way that she wanted it. Don't let Brittany Maynard die in vain. Melissa Legal states, patients with terminal illnesses do not want to die, but they are dying. Legalizing physicians-assisted suicide would help these people die with dignity. Thank you.